Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Thai ebook before it's gone.
สวัสดีค่ะดิฉันปรารถนาค่ะ Welcome to thaipod101.com's ตัวอักษรไทย made easy the fastest easiest and most fun way to learn the Thai alphabet ตัวอักษรไทย In the last lesson you learned the letters ชอช้าง and ซอโซ่ plus a pair of short vowels. Do you remember how to write them all? In this lesson you're going to learn a pair of consonants, a pair of vowels, and a new tone rule. Ready to start? Then let's go.The two new consonants for this lesson are both low-class consonants. Can you list the other low-class consonants that we learned? They are มอม้านอหนูงองูยอยักษ์วอแหวนชอช้าง and ซอโซ่ The first new consonant for this lesson is พอพาน The word พาน means a type of brown tray that is used for making offerings. The sound of พอพาน as the initial consonant of a syllable is like the P in panda. You should feel air coming out of your mouth when you make this sound. As a final consonant, พอพาน makes a dead sound as a P stop by closing your lips. พอพาน looks much like the letter W or an upside down letter M. Grab your pen and let's practice writing it together. Down, up, down, up. พอพาน See, it's easy.The next letter looks almost the same. This is for fun. Fun is the Thai word for tooth. And as you can see, the only difference is that for fun has the last line sticking out higher than the rest of the letter. The sound of for fun as an initial consonant of a syllable is f, like the F in family. But as a final consonant, for fun also makes a dead P stop sound. Let's write it together. Start with the head, go down,up, down, up, and extend the last line higher. You know that fun means tooth, and you already know all the letters to write it. But do you know what tone fun is? That's right, it's mid-tone, because it has a low-class consonant with a live ending. Start with for fun. Add ไม้หันอากาศ above, then นอหนู fun. Okay, now let's learn a new pair of vowels.สระอุ and สระอู They both make the sound u like the O's in boot. The difference is สระอุ is short and สระอู is long. Let's practice writing these two new vowels together. สระอุ สระอูThese two vowels are written under a consonant, like in the word do, to watch. This word has a mid-tone. ดอเด็ก สระอู ดู Here's the word ชุด which means a set or outfit. สระอู is just a little circle with a line coming down. What's the tone of ชุดIt's a low-class consonant with a dead syllable and a short vowel that makes it high tone. Okay, now you write it. Start with ชอช้าง then สระอุ and ดอเด็ก ชุด You've done a lot of writing today. Now let's move on to a new tone rule. Low-class initial consonant plus dead syllable with a long vowel equals falling tone.Do you know how to say very in Thai? It's the word มาก and it is said with a falling tone because of this rule. A falling tone begins with a relatively high pitch that drops sharply. Listen carefully. มาก Let's see how to write this word. มอม้า สระอากอไก่ มาก Soมอม้า is a low-class consonant. กอไก่ makes the ending dead, and สระอา is a long vowel. According to the tone rule you just learned, it's a falling tone. Let's try one more word. พูด is the verb to speak. Here again, we have low class with a date ending and a long vowel. So, พูด is also falling tone. Okay, one last word to write for this lesson. พอพาน สระอู ดอเด็ก พูด Now it's time for Prathana's points. Flashcards are a great way to practice reading. You can make a set of cards using all the words you've learned so far. Put just the Thai script on one side and have the reading and meaning written on the other. Make sure to include the tones too, so that you get used to reading the tone based on the spelling of the word. Thai has more vowel sounds than English, and in the next ตัวอักษร Thai Made Easy lesson, you'll learn how to write a Thai vowel that the English alphabet just can't do justice to. See you there! สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ ดิฉัน ปรารถนาค่ะ Welcome to thaipod101.com's ตัวอักษร Thai Made Easy, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn the Thai alphabet. ตัวอักษรไทย In the last lesson, you learned the letters พอพาน and ฟอฟัน plus a pair of vowels. Do you remember how to write them all? In this lesson, you're going to learn about another low-class consonant and a pair of vowels that we don't have in English. Ready to start? Then let's go! The new letter for this lesson is คอควาย The word ควาย means water buffalo, and you're sure to come across many of them in Thailand. คอควาย makes the sound k when it's the initial consonant in a syllable. It sounds like the letter K in kite or the C in cup. As a final consonant, คอควาย makes a K stop, a dead sound. This is the same sound that กอไก่ makes as a final consonant. Okay, start with the head in the middle, draw a line going down, then arch over the top and back down on the right. Fairly simple, right? Don't confuse คอควาย with ดอเด็ก Can you see the difference between these two letters? It all starts with the direction of the head. คอควาย has a head written counterclockwise, but ดอเด็ก has a head written clockwise. Because of this, the line that points downwards for each letter is drawn at different angles. ดอเด็ก has a wider angle at the bottom because the line comes down from the opposite side of the head. Do you remember all the vowels that we already learned? We can put them into pairs of short and long vowels with similar sounds. A, I, U. Now let's take a look at one more pair. They are สระอึ and สระอือ These vowel sounds don't exist in English, so it may take some practice for you to get them right. The sound is a little bit like the sound that you get when you try to make the sound with the corners of your mouth spread wide apart. Both of these vowels are written above a consonant. To write สระอึ you start by making the shape of สระอี then you add a tiny clockwise circle. For สระอือ you start by writing it like the vowel สระอี Then you add an extra vertical line to the left of the first one. Now that you know how to write สระอึ and สระอือ we can use them to write many new words. Here's the word นึก which means to consider. We have นอหนู then สระอึ above the consonant, and finally กอไก่ Can you guess the tone of this word? Well, what's the rule? นึก has an initial low-class consonant and a final stop that makes it a dead syllable, plus a short vowel that makes it a high tone. นึก นอหนู สระอึ กอไก่ นึก นึก had a high tone, but do you remember the rule for low-class consonants with dead endings and long vowels? They have a falling tone. One example is the word พืช which means vegetation. Remember that ชอช้าง makes the same T-stop sound as a final consonant, just like the letter ดอเด็ก Okay, your turn พอพานสระอือชอช้างพืช Now let's try a word using the letter คอควาย that we learned in this lesson. คืน means to return. คืน is mid-tone because it has a low-class consonant and a live ending. คอควายสระอือนอหนูคืน When สระอือ is not followed by a consonant, we need to write it differently. We'll use the word มือ to demonstrate this. This word means hand, and we write it using มอม้า then สระอือ above it. Then to the right, we draw another letter called ออ่าง You'll learn more about ออ่าง in another lesson. For now, all you need to remember is that if สระอือ has no consonant following it, then we need to write ออ่าง instead. This is a mid-tone word because it's a low-class initial consonant and has a live syllable ending. มอม้าสระอือออ่างมือ Now it's time for Pratana's points. Many modern typefaces used in advertisements and magazines don't include the heads of the letters. The first time you see them, they might be hard to read and you may be confused by similar-looking letters. But remember that the shape of many letters is influenced by the direction of the head, clockwise or counterclockwise. For example, the difference in the shapes of คอควาย and ดอเด็ก Even when the head is no longer shown, it still gives each letter a certain shape. That's how we know which is which. Have you ever heard the Thai word เทพ In the next ตัวอักษรไทย Made Easy lesson, you'll learn what it means and most importantly, how to write it. See you there. สวัสดีค่ะ
If you want to learn more words so you can speak and understand even more of your target language, there is a super simple way to do this. In fact, it's so simple that most people don't even think of it because it doesn't involve language apps, YouTube videos, or your computer. I'm talking about writing things out by hand. How to learn words and phrases by writing them out. And in this guide, you'll discover 1. Why writing words out helps you pick up languages faster. 2. How to use our free PDF workbooks to practice writing, and much more. But first, if you don't yet have access to our language learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. You probably already know that one of the best ways to master a language is through actually using it and practicing it. And that's where writing things out comes in, because you're using the language when you write it down. And on top of that, the physical act of writing helps your brain remember the words much better than seeing them on screen or typing them out. Now, handwriting may feel slow, but by taking it slow, you actually speed up your learning and master the language faster because you engage more of your brain in the process. So, how can you do this? You can apply this trick to any resource that you're using right now by simply copying out the words and phrases that you come across. The more you write them out, the better they'll stick. With our learning system, you can 1. Practice with our free PDF writing workbooks and worksheets. All members get free access to our PDF writing workbooks and worksheets, which are based on common topics like the alphabet, common nouns, adjectives, greetings, and much more. Inside, you learn the most common words and phrases for that topic, and you get plenty of space to practice writing the words out. And in the last section of the workbook, you'll get tested on the words. You'll see the translations of the words, so you'll have to try and remember the meaning in the target language and write it in. 2. Practice writing with the free Word of the Day emails. Every day, we send you a new word to your email inbox. You get the audio pronunciation, sample sentence, and a picture to help it stick. But you can also just as easily write that word down and do that daily every time the emails come in. And now you have a simple language routine going that you can stick with. Now, if you want to learn a little more than just words, you can 3. Practice writing out the conversations from our lessons. So, if you want to master entire conversations in your target language, you can also copy out the conversations from our audio and video lessons by hand. And this will help you master words, phrases, and grammar rules all at once, since you're not just writing out words, but actual lines. Just scroll down to the dialogue section of a lesson to see the conversation. So, if you want to get access to these learning tools and our learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. Remember, here's what you can do to learn all of these words by heart. Drill these words with our spaced repetition flashcards, which will help cement these words into your long-term memory. Save them to the word bank, your personal vocabulary collection, where you can print out your own study sheets, or review the words with our looped vocabulary slideshow, and play it until you know all of the words. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to get these lessons and study tools.
สวัสดีค่ะ ดิฉันปรารถนาค่ะ Welcome to thaipod101.com's ตัวอักษรไทย made easy, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn the Thai alphabet ตัวอักษรไทย In the last lesson, we learned 3 low-class consonants, งองู ยอยักษ์ and วอแหวน Do you remember how to write them? In this lesson, you are going to learn a few middle-class consonants plus a new vowel. Ready to start? Then let's go! The first new consonant for this lesson is กอไก่ Gai means chicken. This letter actually looks a little bit like a chicken's head with its beak pointing to the left. The sound of กอไก่ as the initial consonant of a syllable is g. It is very similar to a hard G or an unaspirated K. Do you remember the live syllable endings from the last lesson? Well, กอไก่ makes a dead syllable ending instead. We can call the ending sound made by กอไก่ a K stop, because all you do is stop the sound by closing off the passage of air at the back of your throat. It is like trying to say a k sound, but without letting any air come out of your mouth. กอไก่ is one of only 2 Thai consonants that doesn't have a head. To write it, just start on the lower left, go up, and make a sharp hook, then come down on the right side. Another middle-class consonant is ดอเด็ก Dek means child. As the initial consonant of a syllable, ดอเด็ก makes the sound d, just like the letter D in diamond. ดอเด็ก also makes a dead sound when it's the final consonant. We can call its sound a T stop because you stop the sound by closing off the air in your mouth by touching your tongue near your teeth. It is like you're trying to make a t sound without releasing any air. You can remember the shape of ดอเด็ก by thinking that the bottom is pointed like a diamond. We write ดอเด็ก with a clockwise head in the center. The line continues to make a point, and the line bends around to the right side. The third consonant you'll learn today is บอใบไม้ ใบไม้ means leaf. As the initial consonant of a syllable, บอใบไม้ makes the sound b, like the B in bucket. You can also think about the shape of บอใบไม้ as a bucket, which might help you remember its sound. We can call its ending sound P stop because we shut off the flow of air by closing our lips. Try making a p sound without opening your lips. That's what the syllable ending sound of บอใบไม้ is like. บอใบไม้ is very easy to write. It's just like มอม้า or นอหนู without a loop at the bottom. Start with a clockwise head and then add 3 straight lines. That's it. Congratulations! You now know all of the final consonant sounds in Thai. I know what you're thinking. Don't we have a lot more letters to learn? We do, but all of the remaining consonants share one of the final sounds that you've already learned. So, no more new complicated final sounds. Do you remember the first tone rule we learned? It was low-class initial consonant plus live ending equals mid-tone. One example was the word นาน The next tone rule is very similar, so it will be easy to remember. It is middle-class initial consonant plus live ending equals mid-tone. Let's try using the middle class consonants we learned to make some words with this rule. But first, I want to show you one new vowel. This is sara e. It is a long vowel that makes the sound e, like the double E in green. Sara e is written above a consonant. For example, here's the word be, which means good. We write the consonant dodek first, and then put sara e on top. D is mid-tone because it has a middle-class consonant with a long vowel, which gives a live ending. When writing sara e, you should start on the right side and draw a line to the left, then make a curved line above that goes back to the right, then a short vertical line. Now let's write another word. Start with gõ gai and add sara a. Together that makes ga, which means crow. Ga also has a middle-class consonant with a long vowel, so that's mid-tone. Now you try to write it. Gõ gai, sara a, ga. Here's one more word. Can you read it? It's ban, which means to bloom. Ban is also mid-tone. Why? Well, it has an initial middle-class consonant and a live ending. Let's write ban together. Bòใบไม้ สระอา นอหนู บาน Now it's time for Prathana's points. Practice recognizing Thai consonants and vowels by reading through the vocabulary lists and conversation transcripts on thaipod101.com. You won't recognize every letter just yet, but it's great practice for the ones you do know, and you can start to get familiar with the shapes of the rest. Do you know the Thai word for washing clothes? You'll learn how to read it while adding a new tone in the next ตัวอักษรไทย Made Easy lesson. See you there. สวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ ดิฉันปรารถนาค่ะ Welcome to thaipod101.com's ตัวอักษรไทย Made Easy, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn the Thai alphabet. ตัวอักษรไทย In the last lesson, you learned the consonants กอไก่ ดอเด็ก and บอใบไม้ Do you remember how to write them? In this lesson, you're going to learn 2 more consonants plus some short vowels. Ready to start? Then let's go! The first consonant in this lesson is ชอช้าง Do you recognize the name of this letter? ช้าง means elephant. This is a low-class consonant. As the initial sound of a syllable, it makes a sh sound. When it's the final sound of a syllable, ชอช้าง makes a T stop just like ดอเด็ก. This means any syllable that ends in ชอช้าง will be a dead syllable. ชอช้าง may take some practice to write well, so let's try together. Start with a clockwise height, then add a small curve and line going down similar to a question mark. Then the line goes to the right and back up. When it gets to the top, you add a little tail that sticks out to the upper right. The other letter that we're going to learn looks very similar to ชอช้าง. This is another low-class consonant. It's called ซอโซ่ The word โซ่ means chain. ซอโซ่ makes an s sound like the S in sun when it's the initial sound of a syllable. And when it's the final sound of a syllable, it also makes a T stop, which is a dead sound. Can you spot the difference between these 2 letters? That's right, ซอโซ่ just has a small indentation at the top. Let's practice writing ซอโซ่ Follow along with your pen and paper. We've previously learned 2 long vowels. Do you remember them? They were สระอา and สระอี Now we're going to learn the short versions of these vowels. This is สระอะ It makes the sound a, which is similar to the a in hat. สระอะ is written as 2 small curls after a consonant. For example, we can write นอหนู and สระอะ to make na, which is a particle used at the end of many sentences. Okay, your turn to write it. สระอะ One more word with this vowel and a trick to watch out for. How do you think you would write the word man, which means it? Did you guess something like this? Actually, สระอะ is only written this way when it comes at the end of a syllable. When this vowel comes in the middle of a syllable, like in man, we need to write สระอะ differently. In that case, we draw just one curl above and between the initial and final consonants. We have a special name for this symbol. It's called ไม้หันอากาศ Let's practice writing man. มอม้า ไม้หันอากาศ นอหนู มัน The other short vowel is สระอิ It makes the sound I like the Y in happy. สระอิ goes above a consonant, just like the long vowel สระอี The only difference is สระอิ doesn't have a vertical line. Okay, now you write it. สระอิ Now that we know some short vowels, we can add a new tone rule. This rule will be about syllables with dead endings. A dead syllable occurs when it ends with a short vowel or one of the stopping sounds of K, T, and P. So the tone rule for this lesson is low-class initial consonant plus dead ending with a short vowel equals high tone. The same pattern with a long vowel is different, so be careful. One example that we already had was na. It has an initial low-class consonant and it has a dead syllable consisting of a short vowel. So it is high tone. Na. High tone starts at a high pitch and rises very slightly. Na. How about the word nit, which means tiny? It is also high tone because it has an initial low-class consonant, has a dead ending, and the vowel is short. Now you write it. นอหนู สระอิ ดอเด็ก นิด We learned 2 new consonants in this lesson. Let's do a quick quiz to see if you can tell them apart. Here are 2 words. One says ชัด which means clearly. The other says ซัก which means to wash clothes. Can you tell which is which? ซัก is the one on the top and ชัด is on the bottom. Did you get them right? Now it's time for Pratana's points. Say the name of each consonant, vowel, and other symbols as you practice writing words in Thai. If you get used to doing this, it will help to understand the answer whenever you ask somebody how a word is spelled. In the next ตัวอักษรไทย Made Easy lesson, you'll learn how to write a very important Thai word. See you there. สวัสดีค่ะ
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Thai ebook before it's gone.